Okay, so here we go. Plenty of controversy on the pitch already here at the Chepauk, and we are going to discuss that. We are going to play Gargi. I need screen grabs of what Devashish sent in our work group. What are the guidelines? What are the exact guidelines from the BCCI? What exactly is the role of the curator? What can the franchise ask for? What can the players ask for? Where does the curator's role end, and how much can home advantage be pushed? All of these need to be put out very clearly. These are the recommendations for pitch and ground preparation. And look at number 3. Look at number 3. Devashish Sen, we will put out a big interview shortly, but not now. Look at this for number 3. The franchise and the players shall not have any say in the preparation of the wicket. The BCCI chief curator is available to give any advice that is required and will also be able to intervene if any issues arise. Shomik, Devashish, Bharat, Gargi, amply clear from this point by the BCCI that this controversy, whether it is Chepauk, whether it is Eden Gardens, what the BCCI says is evidently clear from number 3. The franchise and players shall not have any say in the preparation of the wicket. The BCCI chief curator is available to give any advice that is required and will also be able to intervene if any issues arise. Shomik, I'll go to you first and then straight up to Devashish, who sent us this, and we will break the story that is done. But Shomik, Stephen Fleming's meltdown in the context of what you are seeing on screen, the clear mandate, how do you look at it now?
No, this is exactly what Shujanda told me when we did his first interview in response to Rahana's comment. And I mean, this is there since the beginning, since the inception of the IPL. So this is nothing new. There is a tendency among some franchise people to do the arm twisting, but that's not the case. That doesn't change the fact. Stephen Fleming, as we have written in our copy also, maybe the defeat against RCB has got, it has got under the skin of the Chennai Super Kings team management, and they looked a little bit rattled. Stephen Fleming is not someone who will throw his players under the bus in public. He cannot criticize a Deepak Huda, for example, or a Rahul Tripathi, for example, or the spinners not sticking to the plans or and conceding runs or for those drop catches. So the curator, the groundsman, and the pitch, those become the soft, easy target. What, in fact, I mean, it is fine. It is fine. You are asking, you are saying that we are not getting over the last 2 years. We are not, our spinners are not getting purchased at Chepauk. But the discourse yesterday didn't fit into CSK's quasi team narrative. That is absolutely clear. But when you are at the receiving end of a defeat, those narratives, those such kind of a discourse come out. As far as KKR is concerned, also last year we didn't hear a thing. KKR were winning. The year before that, Nitish Rana said we are not having any home. We are the only franchise not to have any home advantage in a season when they were not winning. So it is curators, whatever. And finally, I had a sort of an argument, a mild argument with one of the franchise people yesterday. He was telling me that I will not name him. He was telling me that no, for this 2 months, these franchises are giving franchise fee to the state association, and the curator is only answerable to the franchise. I told him no, just go and know your facts right. The fact of the BCCI's guideline categorically says that franchises have no say over the nature of the pitch.
Devashish Sen, strong words, and this is very clear. Once again, we are putting it out. The franchise and the players shall not have any say in the preparation of the wicket. The BCCI curator is available to give any advice that is required and will be able to intervene. Also, the second page that you have sent, the pitch should be prepared so that the character of the pitch should stay the same for both. Look at number 4, not excessive spin. Number 3, little lateral seam movement, consistent bounce, good pace and carry. When you see this, Debashish Sen, Stephen Fleming's meltdown, or for that matter, the KKR Sujan Mukherjee issue, if we have to understand it in context, it is loud and clear what the BCCI is saying. Debashish Sen, over to you before I ask Bharat and Gargi.
Yes, Buryada, and Sujanda was only following the BCCI guidelines. Means, and it has been the case with Sujan Mukherjee for last several years. I mean, he has only, and Eden Gardens has produced one of the best wickets, and the award itself is a proof in itself. Eden Gardens have been awarded the best wicket at least for 3 times, if I am not wrong, in the last five years. So, and clearly Sujanda was abiding by the BCCI guidelines that has been put forward to all the curators across the venues wherever the IPL matches are being played. So, and despite that, if you look at that match against RCB, there was some vicious turn. If you look at that Andre Russell dismissal, that the ball that was bowled by Suraj Sharma, the googly, it took a vicious turn that went through the defense of Andre Russell. So, was there no spin? So where is this argument coming from Ajinkya Rahane or the KKR management that they would have loved to have some turn of being offered from the Eden Gardens track? There was turn that was in the offer. We saw, and everyone is there for seeing. If you go back to that replay, if you go back to the highlights of the match and look at the dismissal of Andre Russell, that took a vicious turn. Andre Russell got bowled by Suraj Sharma because of a googly that took a vicious turn. So I think, and Krunal Pandya also got some wickets. It was the failure of the KKR bowlers, the failure of Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti, who failed to utilize the conditions to the best of the best available possibility, and that has been the failure, and also the KKR batters. So this talk about Eden Gardens not offering spin, obviously is not justified, and obviously and now obviously Stephen Fleming actually, in fact, Boryada, if you ask me, the Chepauk wicket has favored the spin bowlers. It has a tradition of favoring the spin bowlers, but not so the case with Eden Garden. It has been a very sporting wicket in the last 5-6 seasons. So
Okay,
obviously,
let's attack the issue from the very start. Let me go to Bharat on this, and Shomik, you put your hand up. One qualification, Debashish said vicious turn, there was turn. Vicious, yes, you can qualify and say semantics, but the fact of the matter is Suyas did get the googly to turn, and there is absolutely, I've seen the video multiple times before this show, the ball lands on off, hits middle. There is turn. There is absolutely no debate that there was turn. Okay, not relevant here. Bharat Ramraj, before that, Shomik, I'll ask you this. Let us also make this very clear. Sujan Mukherjee is not Debashish or Shomik Chakraborty or mine or Bharat or Gargi's uncle. Okay? Sujan Mukherjee doesn't get paid by us, or we don't get paid by Sujan Mukherjee or CAB. So if you think that we are here to argue in favor of Sujan Mukherjee or the CSK curator, you are completely mistaken. Whoever it is, we don't give a damn. It's as simple as that. They don't pay us, nor do we pay them. We are here to put out facts. And the fact is what BCCI has given as a guideline. Simple as that. Matter ends. The BCCI owns this tournament, not the franchises. The BCCI owns, they're the boss. The BCCI owns this tournament. They make the rules. They make the guidelines. The franchises follow. The BCCI is the master here. The IPL is their product. They own this tournament. They make the rules. The curator reports to them, to the BCCI chief curator, and he or she, whoever the curator is liable to only report to the BCCI chief curator, no one else. So let us get our facts absolutely clear before you start blaming. And I was told, by the way, I'm putting this on record, some Kolkata fan clubs apparently felt that 2 of my reporters were favoring Sujan Mukherjee. Absolute bullshit. And apparently they decided that some other platform will support social media rants and hence they will back them. They can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. My journalists will do their job. And I was also told that why don't you then go and give a written complaint to CAB that you don't want such kind of a wicket on behalf of fan clubs. They said, no. We can't go to CAB because the security will drive us away. So we will do a thing on social media. That is what it is. It is all social media nonsense that is going on. Bharat Ramraj, BCCI guidelines amply clear. Stephen Fleming meltdown. If your team is not performing, why don't you introspect? Why are you blaming the wicket, the curator, and everyone else? It is your fault. Your team hasn't done well. Look at that, Bharat Ramraj.
Yes, I guess that is the crux of the point, that CSK lost that match last season. Also, obviously, they couldn't qualify for the playoffs. So somewhere the frustration came out from even Stephen Fleming, who is known as calm and collected. I guess, yeah, CSK have problems in their batting unit. If you look at their batting unit, someone like Deepak Huda obviously is struggling for the last 2-3 seasons. Tripathi also is not known to be great against certain type of fast bowling, especially those tall bowlers who get extra bounce. So there are problems there. So when you start losing, I guess that kind of frustration, somewhere it came out from Stephen Fleming. Though I can see where he's coming from to some extent, because last season 74 wickets went to pace bowlers in Chennai. That is not something that you expect at that particular stadium, and only about 25 wickets went to the spinners. Having said that, in the first match, there was enough resistance for the spinners against Mumbai Indians. Maybe yesterday it was a slightly different pitch. Maybe there's a little more carry for Josh Hazlewood, but that is the second point. The main point is I think CSK have problems with their particular lineup. They don't have someone like Josh Hazlewood either in terms of their pace department to take advantage of any kind of bounce that was there yesterday, or they have problems in their batting unit as well. So CSK, I guess, have to look into other issues. But when you start losing, I think pitch might become the soft target, and basically that is what happened here.
Before I go to Gargi, I'll answer 2 questions which are directed at me. Why did I say this? Why did I say Shujanda should give what KKR wanted the previous day? Romit, my point of view is very clear. I think Shujanda should still give KKR what they want. Because my point of view is IPL is premised on home and away. Give KKR what they want. What is the problem? And that should be resolved by dialogue. But don't go and say Shujanda is acting against the rules, etc., etc. He's very much acting within the rules. He is 100% within his rights to do what he has so far. My point of view is KKR, CAB, Shujanda, or CSK, Curator there, TNCA should work in tandem. That's my point of view. I still think, and I'm making this clear, that KKR and Shujanda should sit across the table. If a request is made, that request will be granted. And KKR should be given the pitch of their choice. You know why? Because you want a spectacle to happen in a city, whether Chennai, whether Bangalore, whether Calcutta. But that doesn't mean that Shujanda is not within his rights to do what he has. The rules of the BCCI make it clear. So I hope you've understood loud and clear where I stand. I still think KKR should be given the pitch of their choice, because that way, if they then don't win, it is KKR's fault, fair and square, not Shujan Mukherjee's. Got it? Number 2, there's a fellow, somebody else asked me, Phenom, that, their problem is other franchises. Here's the question. We have only one problem. Why don't KKR get the advantage of the pitch where other franchises get that advantage? Clear injustice, that's our problem. There was a second question from the same guy, and I'll take that. Rules are for all. If rules are followed, it will be for all or for none. So if one curator follows the rules, you will blame him. How do you blame that person, or that better Chennai curator now? How do you blame a curator for following the BCCI's rules? The curator will show you the BCCI's rules and say, hello, I am well entitled and within my rights to follow the rules. What have I made in terms of a mistake? Tell me. You have just seen the rules in front of you, Phenom. Whether you feel it is injustice or not is your opinion. Shujan Mukherjee, or for that matter, rules don't go by any opinion. If he places the rule to us, when I send a Devashish Sen or a Shomik Chakraborty to go and interview a Shujan Mukherjee and say, why are you not doing what KKR is asking? If he shows us the rule book, what is your answer? That no, because somebody else is flouting the rule, so you do it. So one mistake justifies another mistake, is it? Or if somebody is following the rules, he's well within his rights to follow the rules. So when you ask your questions pertinently. And look, we have nothing to do with Sujan Mukherjee or, for that matter, the CSK curator. We don't care. We will do our journalism fair and square. And if you think that by abusing us on social media and criticizing my journalists, we will not do valid stories, you are very badly mistaken. For I give two hoots for trolls. And I hope my record says that. Gargi Rao, where do you stand on this? Debashish says these two screen grabs make it amply clear that Sujan Mukherjee is on firm ground, and also that the Stephen Fleming meltdown was not required. Gargi Rao.
You know what? The way I look at it, CSK's struggles last night at Chepauk only highlighted that the pitch is not the ultimate decider of success for any team. And despite building a squad, expecting spin-friendly conditions, they found themselves on a surface that was very too pacey, that favored the seamers a little bit. And this was evident when Josh Hazelwood and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar came out and dismantled CSK's batting lineup. And Stephen Fleming, when we talk about his statements not being able to read their home pitch for years, that only reinforced the reality that teams can never fully control conditions and instead must learn to adapt rather than solely rely on expected home advantages. Of course, there is collaboration, there should be collaboration, that's the whole point, but you can't solely make pitch the decider of your success. And it's not just about getting a pitch you want, it's about reading and also adapting to it in real time. CSK expected spin assistant, but their own seamers have not been able to dominate. RCB's seamers did. And if CSK's pitch is unpredictable even for them, then KKR's demand for tailor-made conditions at Eden Gardens makes maybe an even weaker argument at this point, if we put it all into perspective. And teams must evolve with the game. If a historically spin-friendly venue suddenly starts pacing favors, franchisees must adjust instead of demanding change. And I think CSK struggles at Chepauk have only proved that even when you expect home advantage, it does not always work out.
Shomik Chakraborty, if I take a cue from what Gargi is saying, two facts here. By the way, before that, somebody is referring to Srivats Goswami's argument against Shujanda. Srivats is a friend of ours, but that is his argument. Give me one reason why Sujan Mukherjee even has to take it seriously. He will not. He will follow the BCCI's rules, or will he listen to Srivats? Srivats is a former cricketer. That's it. Finished. Sujan Mukherjee is employed by the CABs, is answerable to the BCCI. If he fails, the BCCI is his employer who will pull him up. Why should he bother about Srivats Goswami or Debashish Sen or Boria Majumdar? Doesn't matter. Sujan Mukherjee is only answerable to the board, and he will. If he fails in his job, he will tell the board will tell him, look, you're failing in his job. Who is Srivats Goswami? Why should he bother? He will not. Srivats is a good friend of both Shomik's and mine and Debashish's. He is entitled to his opinion. He has given his opinion. That's it. End of story. Shomik Chakraborty, two questions. The two teams that have raised the issue, okay, CSK and KKR, correct? CSK 2023 winners, KKR 2024 winners. What pitch were they playing on?
Exactly.
Stephen Fleming saying that we have not been able to understand the nature of the wicket for last few years. 2 years back, they won the IPL. KKR won the IPL last year. Tell me, what pitch were they playing on? Something that has arrived from somewhere else. Shomik?
Yeah, absolutely. The soil wasn't brought in from Mars, I guess, be it 23 or 24. And see, as far as the Chepauk is concerned, I give you a little bit of a backstory. See, the Chepauk pitches used to be the liveliest in the country back in the 1970s and early 80s. If you see the old footage of Gundappa Vishwanatha's 97 not out against Andy Roberts, you will know the ball was flying almost like an Australian pitch. Then it drastically changed. A couple of years ago, the TNCI management decided that the center square would be rigid, and accordingly, there are several. In that center square, there are 8 or 9 pitches, and the nature are different. Last night, when Gargi told me that pitch number 6 in the pre-show, I readily told her that the ball will go. Spinners will not have much of a purchase. The ball will go. I readily told her. the pitch number 6, and I have covered a lot of cricket at Chepauk. So that is the thing. Now, in a 2-month tournament, like you rotate your squad, you rotate your pitches also. You cannot play on the same pitch, on a tired pitch, on a used pitch. Number one. The cat is out of the bag when the team is losing. Now, hypothetically, if the CSK curator or Shujanda lay out a snake pit and the ball turns square, everything, and it's a very low scoring, then there is a pitches and grounds committee in the BCCI. They will call out the respective curators and state association for defying their rule, They might issue demerit points, and going ahead, those centers might lose the rights to host matches. Then who will answer for them? The franchise people. After 2 months, they will disappear. It will be the state association, the curators, and defying the BCCI rule book. If they produce snake pits and earn demerit points and a slap on the wrist from the BCCI pitches and grounds committee, who are going to stand on behalf of them? That is the simple question.
I'm coming to Devashish. Before that, again, I'll answer 2 questions which I need to. One from Siddharth Patil, Rohit Juglan, some criticism of Dhoni. I don't know what he said, frankly, but I understand where this guy is coming from. Please behave like journalist, not PR or whatever. And number 2, again, Romit saying Sujan Mukherjee is acting like he's the owner of Eden Gardens. Let me answer this one first. Sujan Mukherjee is acting like he's the head curator of Eden Gardens. It is his job. If somebody today goes and does something to that wicket, the one person who will be pulled up for answers is Sujan Mukherjee. He will lose his job. It is his job to ensure that that Eden Gardens wicket is exactly like the way the BCCI has asked him to do. Finished. He is answerable to the board and he's doing his job exactly like the way he's been asked to do. No way. So not acting as owners of Eden Gardens. And if he is, then it is the job of the CAB and the BCCI to pull him up. Okay? They are his employers. Let's be clear. Number 2, Rohit Juglan disrespecting MS Dhoni. By the way, 5 p.m. Gargi and I planned this together. 5 p.m. we will do a special show. Shomik and Devashish in the studio. Gargi, me, Bharat. I think Shubhan and Rohit will also join. We are going to ask a straight question. Should MS Dhoni bat at number 9? Is he doing service to his own reputation? Is MS Dhoni letting himself down? Is he letting his fans down by batting at number 9? We are asking a straight question. And you're asking about Siddharth Patil, you're asking about disrespecting Dhoni. I think Dhoni disrespected his fans. You read my piece. For me, Dhoni is a winner. I don't want to see Dhoni come when the game is done. I don't want to see Dhoni resign. I don't want to see this Dhoni. This is not the idea of my Dhoni. Simple. What is the line? You are telling me there should be a line. What is the line? Tell me the line. I am saying Dhoni did, by coming in at number 9, he did not aspire to the MS Dhoni aura that we have all seen him to do. And we are very much entitled to say what we are. Because if he is batting at number 9, there is no way he is contributing to the team cause and a team win. Then he should decide. This is a team sport, not an individual sport. This is not an individual sport. If he is not contributing to the win, are you saying, Siddharth Patil, that by coming in at number 9, he's contributing to the team cause? Then we are looking at something else. Frankly, then if it's only about brand, then he should be the mentor and not play. It's his call and the CSK's call. Who are we? But we as fans and analysts and journalists, from our standpoint, MS Dhoni coming in at number 9 is not exactly what should happen, period. And if you think that is disrespecting Dhoni, we will ask the straight questions. We will ask the direct questions. That's our job. Gargi Raut, where do you stand on this before I go to Devashish Sen and Bharat Ramraj?
On MS Dhoni?
We'll do MS Dhoni at 5 o'clock. We'll do MS Dhoni.
Yeah.
This entire hate. See, the problem, Gargi, is the entire hate against a curator, whether in Chennai, whether in Kolkata, they are targets. A player saying, and it's the same everywhere, a player saying, a coach saying, automatically the curator is wrong and everybody else in the association is wrong. It is the player who's the be-all and end-all, and he's right. You've seen that with me. Riddhiman Saha was a liar. And I have proved it. It is the player who will get it. Gopi Chand said it very clearly that whenever a player comes and says anything, it is the player's word which is the gospel. That is not the case. That is always not the case. It's as simple as that. But if a player says something, no curator will ever be taken seriously. Be it in Chennai, Calcutta, Mumbai, I don't know. In such a situation, Gargi, where do you stand? Because the BCCI, as protectors of this tournament, has given the curator the mandate to do the pitch in a certain manner.
It's on paper. Look, it's on paper what Shujon is doing. He is doing it well within his rights. And look, we are all of us here, all 5 of us are in favor of collaboration. There should always be collaboration between franchisees and pitch curators, but that does not mean that franchisees can dictate every single detail of what the pitch is going to be. That is something that cannot happen. The other thing is, teams should not expect guaranteed conditions, where I think sort of a Stephen Fleming is going wrong when he says that he can't read the conditions or all of this. You can't have guaranteed conditions at any venue. It says on paper that IPL franchisees should not have any say in how a pitch is being prepared, yet there are collaborations, and of course there will be. KKR cannot use pitch as an excuse. CSK should not use pitch as an excuse, and teams at this point must evolve with the game. And the solution is not moving venues. It's not complaining. It's about adaptability, and that's what great teams do. That's my take on it. And the hate for Shujon or for any other pitch curator is completely out of line. And I think that this mid-season blow-off in public is where it all went wrong. This should have been a talk that happened in private. This should have been a collaboration that should happen in private, not in press conferences, not in the public eye.
Devashish, how do you answer this? Take this question. We understand the curator is correct in his place as per the rules, but he should work in collaboration with KKR. His statements are provocating when he says the pitch won't change until I am here. Firstly, I did not want to say this. Shujanda has done a huge interview with Devashish Sen. We'll put it out. Don't worry. Number 2, Shujanda told multiple times to Shomik, to Devashish, if KKR reaches out, sits him down, at no point is he not willing to talk, collaborate, help, whatever. And my stand is clear. Give KKR the pitch that they want, no problem. But the fact that you are saying this, he is well within his rules. He is well within his rights to say that he will follow the BCCI norms and guidelines. Over. Devashish Sen, your point of view on this.
Gorida, I just want to take you back to that second page, clause number 4, which clearly suggests that no excessive spin. In Sujanda, by creating a wicket which favors excessive turn, and if it backfires, who will the blame go on to? It will be Sujanda. So clearly he prepared a sporting wicket where it has favored the fast bowlers as well as it has favored the slow bowlers as well. You saw Krunal Pandya getting purchased. You saw Surya Sharma getting purchased with the turn. So it is the failure of the KKR bowlers. I would clearly say, and obviously, and Sujanda was absolutely right in following the BCCI norms and guidelines. And Boryada, obviously, Shomikdar did have an interview with Sujanda, and he clearly said that he is open. Means whatever there is a suggestion from KKR, he is always willing to help. And he being a thorough gentleman, we all know, and that is what the case will be before that all-important game against Sunrisers Hyderabad. And it will definitely favor some sort of turn, but obviously, Sujanda is conscious about the fact that he does not want to be a rank turner. What happens if it backfires and KKR goes on to lose the match? The entire blame will be on Sujanda. Those fans who are now screaming that KKR should get home advantage because KKR's strength lies in their spin bowling department. What happens if it is a rank turner and it backfires? So clearly, there is a very thin line in having a turner and having a rank turner, means outrageously turning, and that should not be the wicket to play on as far as T20 cricket is concerned. T20 cricket is all where you see batsmen scoring runs. At least I'm not talking about 286, but definitely the people they buy the tickets to go and watch a match just to watch a 220 wickets, and that is being chased or a result in the last over, final over. So it's very clear, and imagine what has been going through Sujonda and his family. Obviously, that social media targeting means obviously that is very unfair for me. I am not someone who is very close to Sujanda. Let me be very honest and very frank, as are my colleagues here, Boriada, Shomikda, Gargi, and Bharat. We are
I want to
nowhere.
I
None of
want to
us
make
are very close to.
I want to make this clear. I have not spoken to Shujonda in years. I even don't have his number. I don't have Shujonda's number on my phone. Shomik and Devashish are the two people who talk to him. I have not spoken to Shujan Mukherjee in years. And nor am I interested, because both of my reporters are senior reporters and they talk to him. So to impute motive that we have some sinister motive here to support Shujan Mukherjee is the biggest stupidity on earth. Like this one is. We are a CSK fan. I generally don't call out fans, but here Bharat Ramraj react to this. Raghav Singh, we are CSK fans. We want Dhoni in the death over. Why you have a problem? I mean, are you serious? So you want to see your team lose? You want to see MS Dhoni at number 9, 30 runs of 16 balls. You don't want that to happen 5 overs in advance. You don't want to see your own team win. You don't think MS Dhoni batting up is better. You think MS Dhoni batting after Ashwin makes more sense. And by the way, I am not a CSK fan, so obviously that's not even relevant. But I do think MS Dhoni is the greatest cricketing brain that India has seen. I do think MS Dhoni is the greatest leader, batter, finisher that India has seen. I do think MS Dhoni should be batting up the order. And just like you are entitled to your opinion, I'm entitled to mine. Simple. Whether I'm a CSK fan or not doesn't even matter. Bharat Ramraj, your reaction to the pitch controversy, because MS Dhoni is a 5 p.m. subject. I need to close. How does one put a lid on this, Bharat? Now this has come from Calcutta. It has happened in Chennai. This whole pitch thing, BCCI diktat norm rules are clear. But how does one close this matter? How does this sort of settle down, and the game and the curator and whoever should be allowed to do their job? Bharat Ramraj, how can that be achieved?
Oh, not very sure we will have a perfect situation where we can close it out, because I guess when a team starts losing, this is what will happen. Unless BCCI goes ahead and tells that you have to strictly adhere to the guidelines, then maybe it will close down, as it is already been written in the charter that these are the things that a curator has to do. So that is perhaps the only way to do it. Otherwise, I guess when a team starts losing, you will see these things where a coach or maybe a player will start suggesting that there could be a little more turn, there could be a little more. Maybe if there is a team hypothetically that has better seamers, if there's a little more movement or on those lines. Finally, I think it comes down to the captain having the rapport or the kind of collaboration where he can go and talk to the curator, just maybe suggest the hope that tell the curator that there will be a little more turn for the spinners. I think that's the only way you can close it down behind the closed doors, instead of coming out and lashing at the curator in the press conference. I think that's the only way out here.
Gargi, do you see a solution? Do you see this becoming more and more inflammatory?
Private talks has to be, this has to be collaborated in private. And again, I've said this, I think, about 5 times now, but pitch cannot be the ultimate decider of your success, of any franchise's success. You cannot have guaranteed conditions that the pitch should be like this, only then we will win. That never works. You have to adapt. And look, IPL is all about adapting. It's all about evolving. And if your team is not doing that, then maybe that says more about your team than it says about the pitch. So let's focus on the right places. It does. And the curators here in this situation are also well within their rights for what they have said, for what they have been doing. So it's on paper, it's the rules. They're not flouting any rules. franchisees, I think, need to take a bit of responsibility for their losses or their, bad performances.
Okay, I'll give Shomik the last word before I close. Shomik, somebody is saying, you guys are saying, where did KKR ask for a rank turner? KKR did not. Absolutely right. But shame on CAB, shame on Shujonda. KKR should move out of Calcutta. KKR should do this, do that. All of this has happened also in the last 48 hours, my friend Sritam Datta. And this has happened multiple times on social media with Shujan Mukherjee and everybody targeted. So let us not kid ourselves. Let us not kid ourselves even once that this issue was blown out of proportion. Shujanda and CAB, or for that matter, Chepauk and TNCA, are well within their rights to do what they have. That is why I've said from day one, cha, samosa, sit down, dialogue, resolve. That's it. If Srivats Goswami or anybody for that matter has a different solution, I welcome that. Give me a solution. No. Give me a solution. Ranting against Shujanda, abusing him, shame on CAB trending. You will get your solution. Zero chance. Zero. Your only chance is to sit across the table, have a dialogue, and resolve. That's it. Because what you are in effect saying is actually not your domain. You are asking the curator to do something. The curator is well within his rights to say you don't have the right to ask. If the curator says you don't have the right to ask, he's right. So what you are asking is not even your remit. So only way you can do that is go and say, hello, please, can I sit you down and have a chat? You have any other solution? Come and tell me. You come and tell me. And by the way, the biggest point here, and this is important, I don't think KKR has ever done that. Ajinkya Rahane is the most gracious guy I know. Respectful, sweet, dignified, polite. Venki Mysore is the most diplomatic, gentleman, sophisticated chap I know. He will not go and accuse anyone. KKR management has not done that. This has been done by the fan clubs, by the social media gang, by the trolls, and by some experts who have said KKR should move out of Calcutta without even knowing the ground reality. Now, if I ask a Simon Dool, Mr. Dool, you are a respected commentator and a former player. Did you read the BCCI guidelines before saying that Shujan Mukherjee, whatever, and KKR should move out of Calcutta? Did you actually read these 2 pages that we put out? Did you read them, Mr. Dool? And if you did, would your opinion stay the same? I respectfully ask, because you are a respectable man. Because of your comments from your position of authority, of eminence, of prominence, Shujan Mukherjee got viciously trolled on social media and abused. Do you take responsibility for it? Do you actually take responsibility for it? Or you don't? Because it's just a comment. Shomik Chakraborty, last words.
I think Devashish nailed it when he said it's down to execution. In the first game, KKR versus RCB, RCB spinners bowled better than their Krunal Pandya and Suyash, bowled better than their counterparts, than their KKR counterparts. Yesterday, once again, that young lad, Suyash Sharma, completely outbowled the famed CSK spin attack. Also, attesting to Gautam Gambhir's assessment about a couple of senior spinners in the Indian team, that they have entered the twilight zone. That was clear. I mean, they were completely outbowled by a young lad answering to the name of Curator. Now, finally, when a state association relay or prepare pitches, it is not for the IPL, as I have written in my copy also regarding Stephen Fleming, giving the hard numbers that last year at Chepauk, 74 wickets went to the fast bowlers and only 25 to the spinners. But that is the decision taken by the CTNCA with a bigger picture on mind, not the IPL, Ranji Trophy, international matches, and everything. So, and as we have put out all the rules and regulations in black and white, I think it settles everything. As far as closing out the matter, it has to be done through back channel. It has to be. There has to be a back channel negotiations. And as Shujanda told me, and also Devashish, he is pretty much open to listen to their viewpoint. Similarly, I would expect the Chepauk Curator would be open to listening to the viewpoints from Stephen Fleming, MS Dhoni, or Mr. Kashi Viswanathan. They have a fantastic relationship. The CSK management and TNCA, they have a fantastic relationship. I know their curator also. So the thing is that it has to be done through a back channel negotiation, back channel discussion, and there the story will end.
Yeah, Devashish, quickly.
Yeah, all I remember is that famous quote from Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli: "Take the wicket out of the equation and concentrate on your game." It's the
Maar mein
players
jaye
who
wicket.
make a team
Maar mein
success.
jaye.
It's the players who make the team success. So let's not bother about the wicket and concentrate and focus and concentrate on the players that you have rather than scribbling about the wickets.
Okay, let me end here. However many meltdowns you might have in front of the media, it will not solve your problem. There will be some more trolling, some more fan club, some jump here, there, whatever. Ultimately, CSK wants to win, KKR wants to win. Sit down with the curator, have your chat, solve it. Finished. There's nothing more to this. From day one, I've been saying, and that is when people were sort of coming at me saying, "Arey, what are you talking about? This has been going on for the last many years." So it should have been solved even then with dialogue. And every year, if it happens, solve it with dialogue. You have no other solution. And I bet you don't have any other solution. That's a fact. Today, if you say move out of Calcutta, you will go to a different center. Go. Will you solve there? Can CSK move out of Chepauk? No. So what is your answer? The answer is a solution. Sit the curator down, have a chat, sit with the management, so let's solve it. And now I'll close with Raghav Singh. Here's the joke of the day. CSK without Dhoni is nothing. Kohli without RCB and Rohit without MI, IPL will become a flop. You are a joke. That's what you are. IPL started in 2008. Tomorrow, take all these stars out. Yes, Virat Kohli is the greatest brand at the moment. You think 20 years down the line, there will be no IPL? Its valuation will be several more billion. There will be no Virat Kohli, no Rohit Sharma, no MS Dhoni, none of them. IPL has survived without a Tendulkar. IPL has survived without a Ganguly and whatever, and all these legends of the past. And IPL will survive without anyone. It is brand IPL that rules, not Kohli, not Dhoni, not anybody. CSK is a unicorn. It will become an even bigger unicorn. There will be multi-billion-dollar valuation. And the tournament is on its track, boss. One simple thing. No individual, Dhoni, Kohli, Rohit, anyone is bigger than the institution. Can never be. The sport, the game, the brand, the tournament will forever be bigger than any individual. And it will survive. Lalit Modi thought, no IPL without me, Lalit had to go. If anybody thinks no IPL without X, no one can become bigger than the brand. The IPL is India's greatest sports brand, not because of one individual. That's where we will end. 5 p.m. Devashish, Bharat, Shomik, Gargi, myself, and we will also get Shubhan and Rohit. MS Dhoni doing disservice to himself and his franchise by batting at number 9. We will take questions. We will give our opinions. Till then, thank you very much for watching.